Guys, I understand the economy is trash right now, but there's no reason why a hamper should cost more than $20. Why am I on Amazon trying to buy a new hamper and they're like $30, $40? I go to the discount store by my neighborhood, $40. Where's the discount?
All that I got from the store was two funky ass packs of chicken thighs. I remember chicken thighs used to be $6 goddamn dollars. Now they 10, 12, and 13 dollars. Now I stopped buying the wings because y'all made them $30 a pack. Now you're working on the chicken thighs. Next we'll just be surviving on air. Cause goddamn, I ain't cooking all this old extra shit. I ain't buying no extra stupid ass ingredients in this shit. Still $75,000 damn dollars when you get done. Then on top of that, when you come out the store, it's some with a damn piece of cardboard begging you for some money. And I'm trying to be as polite as I can. Sir, I ain't got no money because I just spent all the I had that I was going to use on gas on the groceries. Now, can you politely get the out of my way so I can go home and cry? If this shit keep, whoa. I'm so frustrated I can't even talk. But if this keep getting higher and higher, at some point, we're going to have to choose what's more important than the next. Because this don't make no sense, man. I'm hanging on by a string. This is ridiculous. I'm going to have to pick up another job because this ain't here. This ain't happening, man. What the And how the are you supposed to tend to your kids, have the energy for your children to want to do with them when you so tired from trying to work and trying to figure out how you gonna get the done? Like sometimes I be feeling bad because my little girl be want to have small talk and I be like, hey, I ain't in the mood. I'm trying to figure some out. And that's not fair to the babies, but I'm up creek.
Listen, man, I make over 30 an hour. I got a damn good paying job. Listen, if a nigga was to tell me at 18 years old, if a nigga said, yo, Diz, at the age of 36, you're gonna be making over $30 an hour and you're gonna be struggling, I would have laughed in his fucking face, man. For real. I would have laughed in his face. You couldn't have told me that at 18 years old. I would have thought that I'd be living like a king. I don't live outside my means. When I say I'm struggling, that's just to pay bills and to buy food. Inflation, the economy, everything is fucked up. There's no middle class anymore. We're literally the working poor. You have the working poor, and then you have the filthy, rotten fucking rich. Like something needs to change. Something needs to give. We can't fucking live like this. This is not a way to live.
I went to Target yesterday and bought 2 bottles of hair product, a bottle of shampoo, a box of trash bags, and 1 Halloween decoration, $70 on my Target Red card. That's with my 5% discount. My son's looking at the cart and going, Mom, this was $70. We didn't even get anything. Yeah, I know, kid. And he doesn't even remember a time when you could get a 2-bedroom apartment in a decent area of town for $600 a month. Now a 1-bedroom apartment in a mediocre part of town is $2,000 a month. Gas is $5.49 a gallon. It cost me $65 to fill up my tank. Before COVID, my grocery bill per month was $350. Now it's $600 a month, and I buy the exact same amount of groceries. This shit is out of control. What does the bourgeoisie think that the outcome of this is going to be? They cannot possibly believe that extracting every last dime out of the working class by inflating all of the prices and paying us poverty wages is a sustainable economic model. And the thing is that I could be mad at the bourgeoisie all day long, but they are doing exactly what is expected. They are greedy sociopaths. This is what they do. I am more mad at Americans because instead of uniting against this common enemy who is robbing us blind, we are fighting over whether or not drag queens can read books to children. At what point are we going to stop taking this shit lying down, put our foots down, and say, fuck this, and not allow it anymore? We cannot even afford to live in this country. We can't even afford to die in this country. The Republican Party is bought and paid for by the same greedy sociopaths who are robbing you, me, and our families blind every day. They are manipulating you into believing that they are going to save you from the problems that they created in your life. They have not walked a single inch in your working class shoes. They have no idea the struggle that you and I go through every day in this economy just to feed our families and keep them safe. They are gaslighting you into believing that I am your enemy so that you're distracted while they continue to do their dirt behind your back, because they know that if you knew what they were doing, you wouldn't vote for them anymore. Why are you listening to them? The Democratic Party, with the exception of a very small few, is filled with weak and spineless politicians who placate to everyone just so that they can get reelected because they want to maintain some semblance of power in Congress. Why are you placing all of your faith and hope in this party to save us? Your religious leaders are funded by the same corporate sponsors who have bought your politicians, and they are weaponizing your faith against you so that you are distracted by a made-up enemy, your gay neighbor or your liberal coworker, so that you are not paying attention to the extreme financial crimes that they are committing against all of us right under your nose. In the richest country in the world, 500,000 people are homeless when there are more than enough homes to house them, and millions of children are hungry or food insecure, having their one free meal taken away from them at school. 10-year-olds are being forced to bear the child of their rapist. People are rationing their insulin and dying because they cannot afford health care. The water's polluted, the air is polluted, the soil is devoid of nutrients because we have oversaturated it in pesticides. We're not going to be able to grow our own food in the coming decades. The planet is literally dying. And they are putting hotels up in space and telling you that they can't afford to pay you a living wage, and you are believing them. This period is going to go down in the history books as one of the most epic failures that America ever allowed to happen. Future generations are going to study this time in history and ask themselves, why did they not do anything? How could they not see? And if you're sitting behind your phone right now and thinking to yourself, it's not me, it's those goddamn weirdo trans kids, then you are the people that they will be talking about. Wake the fuck up.
At this point, I think we might be living at our in-laws' house until, we get old and gray, because the housing market is absolutely ridiculous. It's so sad because back in the day, you were able to just go to school, get a good job, get married, be able to buy a house, start a family, and possibly be able to stay part-time at home even with the children to help raise them. Now it's like, no, you get married, where are you living? Maybe we're going to live in a shoebox, maybe we're going to be homeless living on the street, because why is a one-bedroom, one-bath like $800,000? Like, I'm just trying to wrap my head around how things are going right now, because it's like, it's pretty hopeless for this generation, for us that are trying to start our lives and get a place. It's like, rent is absolutely insane. You can't save any money to be able to buy a place. They don't want us to own anything, and they literally want to like destroy your dreams of starting a life. It's just so embarrassing.
Home prices are rising nationwide as inflation remains stubborn and mortgage rates remain high as Americans compete for fewer available homes. Home prices in March were up 0.4% compared to February. Now that's the second month in a row that we have seen gains.
Because right now, this economy, this world is set up to make average American families fail.
I'm just really tired of not being able to do the things that I want.
Everybody in America kind of knows it's over. There will be no recovery. This is not like the other times. This ain't like 2008 where, we'll crash and then we'll get back up. If I can get my hands on a nice lump sum of money, baby, I'm buying land in another country and I'm out of here, because there's nothing left here but struggle.
And also, this is another reason why men are leaving the country. Do you guys know how many men I met in Thailand who have just sold their home in the States and moved to Thailand or the Philippines? All of these men was talking about the fact that the cost of living was going up. It was getting ridiculous. And they got sick of trying to keep up with all the materialistic stuff that they had gained. A lot of these guys took everything in their house. They sold it. They had yard sales or whatever. And they sold their house and they just left. They was tired of chasing the American dream, trying to keep up with the Joneses, the whole nine. This was another reason why passport men movement grew so fast. It wasn't just because of the women. It was for the better cost of living in other countries.
Literally everything he just said was facts. Because at this point, I think we past surviving. We fed, everybody's fed up, bro. Everybody is fed up. You tell you to go to college, you go to college. You get debt, you come out of college, you can't even find a job because you don't got experience. Then they talking about internships without pay. When I found out, I was like, what? I'm giving you time and you're not paying me? No. People are really out here like contemplating if they should pay the bills or they should like pay the medicine. Like it's because it's absolutely absurd that like we're living in times where like at this point you got to pay to die. Like God forbid you break your arm or you go get a checkup at the ER. Like then like the old heads are absolutely clueless because they're telling you, oh, like you're just lazy. This generation is just lazy. Go out and get a job. Like the whole American dream. Stop. Because if the next old person that comes to me and tells me that, oh, it's because I'm lazy, I'm not trying hard enough, or you see how dumb you sound. Now you got to get slapped because we're not living in the same time. So I'm gonna need you to wake up.
The government really won't admit this, but I think we may be in a recession right now, to be honest.
Prices on everything are up, from food, gas, rent. Instead of $60 to fill up your gas tank, it's $140. Instead of 99 cents for eggs, it's fucking $3. Rent's going from $3,000 to $5,000. All that shit adds up, and wages aren't going up fast enough.
Wages have gone nowhere.
Yeah, good morning. Just checking in. My millennial families, especially the ones with kids, are you okay? Are you okay? You're not okay. I know you're not okay because I'm about to do a 3-minute rant, okay? Bear with me on this one. We're drowning. We're never going to make it. This generation is never going to make it, okay? I just watched 5 TikToks in a row. I swear to you, 5 TikToks about how our country is in the greatest depression it's ever been in, and they're calling it the silent depression because we are all just silently drowning. Okay? Let me give you some examples. I'm going to be real transparent here, okay? When I first moved out, I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. $850 a month, utilities included. Fast forward to now, I have 4 kids of my own and a bonus son. We have 5 kids altogether. When we started applying for apartments, most wanted you to pay $300, $400, $500 to even apply for the apartment, to reject you and then tell you, we don't give you that money back. Awesome. So then we did find somewhere that approved us. Okay? 2nd floor of a house. No central air. We had to buy 4 AC units when we moved in here. Okay? 2 bedrooms and a loft. Some places wouldn't even rent to us because they said you have too many kids and you need a bigger space. We can't afford a bigger space. Okay? We pay $1,600 a month. Again, 2nd floor of a house, no central air, 2 bedrooms and a loft. $1,600. Groceries, food, a basic human need. I get $569 a month in food stamps. Very grateful for that. It's a huge help. But I still have to go to 2 food pantries a week to be able to feed my family. Not to mention I didn't even get them this month because I did everything I was supposed to for my recertification. They messed up on their end. I didn't get them. So now it's the waiting game. You get them back when we figure it out. That's what I was told at social services the other day. So we decided to go to Dollar General right down the street, the dollar store. Get us some necessities, get us through until we get my food stamps back. 5 bags of groceries, $110. The only meat I got was 1 roll of ground beef. Childcare. I'm getting ready to go back to work. Why? Because we're never going to make it if I don't. But almost 3/4 of my income is going to go to childcare. I have a 4-month-old baby. I can't be a stay-at-home mom anymore. It's impossible. It is impossible to be a stay-at-home mom in this economy. They told us to get educated. I have an associate's degree. I just applied to go back and get my bachelor's. Credit hours are over $300 now. That's triple what I paid for my associates. We are never going to be able to buy a house in this economy. The American dream that we lived with our parents that had 1 parent working, mom stayed home, they had multiple vehicles, 4-wheelers, we went on vacations, all that's gone.
What's going on, mi gente? Let me show you something. For those of you who do not know, I am married to a Filipino woman. Quite frankly, she is probably the best thing that could have ever happened to me personally. Anyway, I'm here on vacation in the Philippines, where we are visiting at the moment one of my wife's cousins, and this is his place. Let me show you around. This is their outside area where they get to spend most of the day. They have dogs, they have chickens, they have roosters, which by the way, they get to wake you up every morning. This is where they do their dishes. That's my little boy Dominic, say hi. Hi. These are my twins, Michael and Gabriel, say hi.
Hi, Dad.
They're right now eating outside some ramens that they just prepared here in the outside kitchen. Let me show you the rest of the property. Here we see the bigger property where we have 3 to 4 families who are all relatives, and they share the big home and make it into their own individual little homes. This right here is the inside of their little place. This is the entire home where they live. They have one little room back there where they actually get to sleep every night. Let me show you the bathroom area. This is where they get to take bucket baths, if you will. That's the toilet area. No hot water, by the way. So why am I showing you this? You know, mi gente, when we Americans get to witness some of the conditions that so many people throughout the entire world live in, a couple responses might come to mind. The first response will be how blessed we are that we get to live in America, where most of us don't get to live under these conditions, right? On the other hand, the alternative response, which I believe will come from the very, very minority of Americans, could also be how lucky these people are that they don't get to live under our way of life. And why am I bringing the alternative response to you? Because the truth is, mi gente, that although these people might seem to live in conditions that none of us, or at least most of us, couldn't ever begin to fathom, the reality is that most of these people are pretty happy. And the reason most of them are pretty happy is twofold. First of all, because they don't know any other way of life. And secondly, because they don't have to worry about most of the shit that we do have to worry in the US. For once, most of these people don't have any debt to worry about. And secondly, they don't have the same ever-quenching desire to have more and more and more like most Americans do. Thereby, they actually get to focus on the simplest and yet most important things of life. Things such as family life, being together all the time, going out to work a little bit, get some money, bring some food, have some food on the table as a family. They don't have to worry about appearances like we do. And for that matter, they only get to focus on human relationships, which is actually the entire purpose of us being living on this earth. Although we might think that we are in better positions than these people are, the truth is that we could learn a lot from them. Perspective, mi gente, something that most of us Americans are actually lacking in the US because all the material shit that we get to worry about is actually stealing it from us. Anyway, I just wanted to share a little bit of my personal life with you. Stay woke, mi gente.